9-year-olds, they're wonderfully stable. They love a challenge. However, they're just learning to tap into their emotions. So one thing they're going to do is they're going to hold back if they are under-challenged. They're not going to be aware of their ability to push beyond their comfort zone. And they're going to show excessive fear when put on the spot on something that they're not familiar with. A perfect example is I was in Orlando, and I had just gotten back from World Championships with my students, and Jeffrey Vargo, 7 years old, won World Champion. I got him up on stage, and I tried to get him to perform a couple of kicks, and he froze and didn't really try very hard. He was doing kicks kind of really sloppy. And I was like, dude, you just won World Champion. Why'd you do that? He's like, well, he goes, I just didn't want people to be jealous of me or judge me by doing my kicks up on stage. They don't need that me, I gotta win like the 5 and 6-year-olds do. Their emotional stage of development is actually the opposite. They're more chill and they're more laid back. So you gotta keep that in mind as well, that emotionally, they're not gonna give you all they got. But if you have that 7 or 8 or 9-year-old who gives you all that got, what does that mean? They're above their emotional stage of development. So these are things that are important. So here's what you want. You want them to show intensity even on basic things. A 5 or 6-year-old, you tell them to do something like, let me see a high block and a punch. And they're like, high block, punch. They're so excited to show you their high blocks and punch. You tell a 7, 8 or 9-year-old, let me see your high block punch. And they're like, high block punch, easy cheesy, right? They're not going to show that intensity. So what you want to do is help them tap into that emotion. That's why intensity is one of the skills. So we'll say, okay, let me see a high block punch. And they go, high block punch, too easy. Like, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being your most powerful, that was at a -2. Let's see if you could do it at least at a 1, high block punch. Now let's see it at a 5, high block punch. Now let me see it at a 10, high block punch. Make sense? That's how you get them to tap into their emotions. Another thing, persevere through challenges, especially when they initially feel like giving up. 7, 8, 9-year-olds are capable of doing a lot more. They just don't realize it. You know, they're like, as adults, if you go to the gym and you're working out, or Noah, you're bench pressing, you reach that almost breaking point, you're like, one more rep, because I know it's going to get me stronger. 7, 8, 9-year-olds are like, oh, that's enough. So you got to understand that. That's why perseverance is another one of the skills that we work on with 7, 8, 9-year-olds. On Perseverance Day, what we're doing is we're tapping into their emotions. So we're doing non-stop jumping jacks, non-stop squat jumps for a minute, getting them to push themselves and going, see, you're stronger than what you think. All right, emotion, also show courage by facing their fears when they're trying something new. So 5 or 6-year-old, if you say, all right, I want you to climb up on this half wall and jump off of it. Most 5 and 6-year-olds will be like, yes. My son will be like, okay. 7, 8, 9-year-olds go, I don't know, man. I might fall and hurt myself because it's happened to me a couple of times. So this is where they start to hold back. You put a bunch of boards up for the 5 and 6-year-olds like Hunter, the blackboard, and Hunter just kept wheeling that board until he broke it. 7, 8, 9-year-olds are like, I don't know if I want to hit this board. I'm just going to, right? Especially in girls. Girls, 7, 8, and 9-year-olds start to hold back on intensity, hold back on their courage, and hold back on their perseverance. If you understand that, you can explain that to parents. My daughter doesn't really apply a lot of strength. That's her emotional stage of development. That's what we're going to help her work on.